number 3, and I think perhaps one of my favourite pillars, it's an area I absolutely love researching and working in, is providing opportunity for play and predatory behaviour. I've had lots of owners say to me, my cat doesn't play anymore, and I don't believe it for a second. I'd like to meet those cats because usually we can get them to play. Cats need the opportunity to engage in what we call pseudo-predatory play, so a expression for their predatory type behaviours, and also for the behaviours associated with feeding as well. Cats have a really, really strong instinct to still display these behaviours. It is not something that we have genetically selected or artificially selected for the cat to no longer want to hunt. And even if we don't want it to hunt, we need to provide an opportunity for these behaviours directed at something that we feel is more appropriate. So the hunting sequence or the predatory sequence involves locating a prey item, capturing it, killing it, preparing it, and consuming it. And when we feed our cats, it's usually a case of shake, 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 or zoop, squish. The cat has no opportunity for several of these behaviours because we usually feed in the same place at the same time with the same stuff. So I've said that, predatory behaviour, it will occur even in our most well-fed cats, and it's a myth that if the cat is really well-fed, it won't hunt. We know that. We know that the two things are separated, the hunger and the predatory systems. And if you think about it, if you only waited to hunt until you were really hungry, it would not be a sensible survival strategy at all. Because if that hunt was unsuccessful, you've depleted your energy resources, so you've got no energy to go on to the next hunt. So you need to hunt even when you don't necessarily need that food at that time. Remember, hunting in our free-ranging cats or their wild ancestors consumes a huge part of their day, and we take that away. What do they do with that time? We start to see problematic behaviours. We see obesity because the food is just there and available. We often see frustration-related behaviours and problems leading to stress-related disease and undesirable behaviours. And here is the classic obese cat that is becoming more and more common. So there's two things we can do. We can use food and we can use play to help mimic predatory behaviour for the cats. Using food, just a few ideas. Again, I could probably talk for a day on how to do this. But hiding small amounts of dried food at multiple locations, get the cat to use its senses to find the food. Feeding at small and regular intervals. Remember we said how many small prey items a cat would eat across a day. And we tend to mimic what we do, which is meal feed, and that fits in with our lifestyles morning and evening. But a cat should be eating little and often. And there's ways we can do that, for example, by using timed feeders if we're not in during the day. Utilise puzzle feeders. The market for puzzle feeders for dogs is huge. Sadly, the market for cats is a lot smaller, but getting bigger. And there are some fantastic people out there designing really, really innovative puzzle feeders. And you can design and make your own. You don't need to buy expensive ones. So the cat has to utilise its cognitive abilities, its sensory abilities that it would utilise in hunting to access food. And here's some examples with a feeding ball, cardboard tube pyramid, and this one the cat has to turn these around to let the food, you can see the food dropping out here. I have a video which I'm going to show you. It's just an example of one of the feeding devices that I utilise. I don't normally put this much food in it. I've just put this much food in it in the beginning because he's learning how to use it. You can see he's learned really quickly. Oh no, hang on. Can you make it play? Can you make the video play? Maybe not. 2 minutes. Just while he's starting to get that to play, if he can, I'll just talk you through some of it. what we see may not look like what we imagine predatory behaviour to look like. And you think, well, that's not predatory behaviour because I've never seen a cat do that. Oh, here we go. When he's catching prey, it may not occur in the same sequence or the same order, but it is a lot of the same behaviours. The manipulation that you see with the paws is very similar to the manipulation you see a cat when it's caught a prey item. He is the master of the puzzle feeder, I must admit. But you just imagine how long it takes him to get that food in comparison to if that food was in a bowl. Okay, so we get the idea. So what about using play? That was using food. We can utilise wand toys, and wand toys are absolutely fantastic. The toys that are on great big sticks, you can get all different things on the end of them. Fur and feather are by far the best. It will be much more likely to elicit predatory behaviour in the cat because it's tactile, it feels like a prey item. I've just had a student do a really nice study looking at different components of wand toys and the different sensory properties of them and what promotes play, what makes them best. So really nice findings. We're just writing that up at the moment. When you play with your cats, make sure you let them catch the end of the toy on the end of the wand. Not every time, but definitely sometimes. We have a real habit of going whoosh, 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 na na, ha ha, na na. And actually, you know, they're going to go, that prey item, it isn't worth my time. I'm never going to catch it, and I'm exerting too much energy on that one. Build success. We want to promote positive welfare in the cats. Let them capture it. Let them have that ability for those endorphins to go, to catch that and bite it and rake it. Provide reward. Capture as reward. Utilise food rewards as well. Some cats really like big, soft toys. It's not for every cat. Learn each cat's individual preference, but they like to kick and rake them with their back legs. Consider auditory-based toys. There's only a few of these on the market now, but there are toys that make the sounds of the prey vocalizations. And for some cats, these really, really trigger their predatory response. Oh, I didn't do that. There we go. Hide toys, just like you would hide food. Play search games. Locate those toys. Remember, location is the first step of the predatory sequence. Rotate toys. Cats do habituate very, very quickly to toys, and we have scientific evidence for that. Rotate them. Keep your high-powered, high-value toys in a drawer. Bring them out at certain times. At all costs, avoid hands and feet. You've seen the picture at the beginning of the cat bite. And utilise toys correctly. In this top photo, sadly, that's not the case. The remote-controlled mouse has been driven straight towards Woody. He was absolutely terrified of it. Generally, prey items don't run into the jaws of cats. So remember all the time correct use, and particularly important if children are playing with cats. This is a wand toy. It's like a fishing rod. You can just see here is the prey item on the end. If your cats have outside access, please, please, please play with them outside. This is a really good opportunity to really exert some energy that may not necessarily be able to happen in the home unless you have a really, really big home. And this is Herbie, he's one of my cats. This was doing some beginning of outdoor training because I want him to associate being outdoors with me so that I don't lose him, that I have a good recall with him. So outside is very exciting and we do lots of good fun things together. Back to that wonderful cardboard box. I absolutely love it. It can also be used not only as a safe place, but in predatory behaviour. This was a cat that came into our cat welfare centre and she plucked quite badly. We started to provide her with a cardboard box, toys that she could pluck, and the behaviour all went onto those, was directed onto the appropriate source. So here she is plucking her box. We've said utilise the outdoor environment. Multicat households, another reason people will say, he plays, but he doesn't. He's not really that interested. He looks excited when the toys come out, but after a few minutes he won't play. And you see that sort of swing ball effect. I don't know if any of you had that game where you were young, where one cat's batting it and playing and the other one's going, oh no, I can't. Oh no, I can't. Play with them individually. Play with them separately. Remember, they don't hunt together. This is a behaviour that they do alone. Modify your play for young and for old cats. And remember safety with toys. A lot of the toys on the market are designed with the owner in mind, not the cat. They'll have attachments. They'll have things that the cats can take off and consume. So consider safety when you're buying toys. I always say with caged cats, consider the type of toy that you're utilising. Change the ping pong ball for a screwed up paper ball. If a cat is in a veterinary cage or a rescue shelter cage and is bopping one of those around and it's banging off the metal, it might be having a really joyous time, but the cat next door certainly won't be. So just tailor for the circumstances that you're in. Convalescent cats, we talked about giving them play opportunities outside of the cage. Positive experience can aid healing.